Alright, so with Percy Jackson and the Olympians is making its return to Disney Plus for a second season, and especially with fans of the books and with the show itself, and considering with all the success and the momentum that it got, I really enjoyed the show so much, especially when it first debuted. But now, especially with the most recent news, I just been confirmed that not only that, but it's been renewed for a third season, and this is a big deal that they're planning to go for a multi-season television with the show. And what I'm going to break down in this video is that probably going to be adapting Titan's Curse for the first time with its adaptation. And so let's get into it all right here, right now. And so if you're new, then be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so no one's on any future vids. But now let's hop right into it. And now with Percy Jackson and the Olympians, that was a success for a Disney Plus show. And even though I really liked season 1, and they did a great job of adapting book 1, The Lightning Thief, and did the book justice. And if you know the storyline of when Zeus's bolt gets stolen, and with Percy that has to go on this quest and bring along Annabeth and Grover to retrieve the bolt and return it to Zeus to prevent the war between the Greek gods. And even though with Walker Scobell, that definitely crushed the role as Percy Jackson and what that character represents, especially as being the Greek god, the son of Poseidon. And even though everything for the layer and meaning, what the characters represented, even with Rick Riordan, which I definitely admire creative input on the show, because especially I just really loved it. And even though after what happened, for what was set up at the end of season 1 with Percy that has returned the bolt to Zeus after it was revealed that he was betrayed by Luke, which is revealed that he stole the bolt, and even though Percy accomplished his quest, his mission to retrieve it and return the bolt and to prevent the war. And you know that with season 2 it's going to be adapting Sea of Monsters, and even if you think about it, with that movie it was absolutely terrible. With the show, that's going to do that book justice, especially based on the potential that they can do with it. And even though, if you know the second Percy Jackson movie from 2013, and that was like a lazy storyline to me, even though I like the series very much, but even though with the first 2 movies that they are garbage, but even though there's like so much potential that they can do there. Even though with the last time that we saw Percy, Annabeth, and Grover, that they went their separate ways, leaving Camp Half-Blood, and they'll always remember to make a pact, and they'll be able to reunite with each other once again. So I'm thinking that with season 2, they're gonna go all at it, because especially with everything that we know about Sea of Monsters and with Talia, the Golden Fleece, there is so much that they could do here, especially for fans of the books and also with fans that fell in love with the show, and they'll get what they want. That's something that I am really excited for in terms of what type of storyline that they're going to be attached, especially from page to screen. And I'm thinking like for what Rick Riordan can do, especially as he got turned down by 20th Century Fox for the Percy Jackson movies, and the fact that we haven't even gotten season 2 yet, and it's also been confirmed that we are getting the second season at the end of this year in December of 2025, but just like how they released season 1 in December of 2023, and they could be going for a multi-season television, because with the Percy Jackson book series, it's based off of 5 books, ending in The Last Olympian. So I can basically see them going that route for having like, I'd say like 4 to 5 seasons of this show, because it could do so much with the entire book series. And even though based on how season 1 was received, and I'm thinking that with the season 2 Sea of Monsters, I'm excited to see them for where they go with the type of storylines, and especially everything from that book that they're going to be adapting, especially to make the fans happy, and especially like they want more from this show, and even for what they could do with season 3, and plus since they are going to be adapting the Titan's Curse, we never saw them do actually. But even though with the movies that adapted the first 2 books, and those movies were absolute garbage, and the show can do a much better job at adapting the 3rd book, especially what type of potential that they could do with it, and with how season 1 was received, and with how fans want more and more of the show, especially for how season 1 ended with that cliffhanger, and especially as it set up Percy Jackson to lead like a more type of a larger threat. And there's like so much that they can do with the Percy Jackson show on Disney Plus. So I'm thinking like if they release season 2 in December of 2025, and that means season 3 will probably release around like December of 2026 or 27. We have no idea, but it could be a great thing to get the fans hype and momentum going. And season 2 we're going to be adapting Sea of Monsters. And if you know the story of Sea of Monsters, that it follows Talia that gets turned into a poison pine tree and that she has to be cured by the Golden Fleece, and with Percy and his friends that has to go see Grover, especially after being kidnapped, to retrieve the fleece and to save Camp Half-Blood, and that was prevented from being under attack. And if you know the movie adaptation of Sea of Monsters, that was absolutely terrible, the way that they decided to adapt that book into that movie, and it was not well received by people. With the Disney Plus series that did season 1 justice, and I'm thinking that with season 2 that could definitely give the book justice to what they can deliver, because especially as Percy is now known as like a hero, that he can take on bigger things, especially as like a bigger threat that is now coming his way, especially after what happened at the end of the first season, because that's exactly what it represents as the characteristics of Percy Jackson. And you know, I'm excited to see Percy and his friends reunite, and even for what Sea of Monsters is going to be adapting, and based on everything that we know in terms of casting and the plot details and specific details that we've heard of so far, I am very excited to be looking forward to going back into the world of the Percy Jackson series, with the Sea of Monsters being adapted. And also, I think we have the casting for who's going to be playing Talia, and I think if they can do it like much more differently than what the movie did, but even though I want them to go further into Sea of Monsters, because I think that with that book, I'm pretty sure they have the potential to do it in like a unique way that's gonna make the fans happy. And even though with season 3 of what they could do with the Titan's Curse, that it involves Percy and his friends that have to go on a dangerous quest to save Annabeth and Atramus, and that have been kidnapped by Titans, so that's why it's called the Titan's Curse. And so that's why I think like going for multi-season television with Percy Jackson on Disney Plus is obviously like a good idea. And I'm thinking that, man, like there's like so much that they can do here in terms of for how the show got in the works, of probably casted these awesome actors to portray these characters, especially. I'm excited to see where Walker Scobell continues to strive for next for his role as Percy Jackson, and to reunite with his friends Annabeth and Grover. And I think that, I mean, Percy is gonna have a lot more bigger tasks to handle, especially with Camp Half-Blood and what type of things that we also need to know about this world as we're heading into season 2. So I think like they can go a much more of like a route, introducing like newer characters of what they play into the story, and for the second book, and even with the third book as well. But and even if they do the books justice, I'm guarantee you, like, this show is going to be talked about. It's going to serve its momentum. Even with those 2 movies, like, those movies were bad, but even though with the show book adaptation, I'm pretty sure they're going to do a much better job at adapting the Titan's Curse, which is something that has never been done before, especially for a streaming show like this. So I can't wait to see for where they go with the 3rd season, especially, we don't even have season 2 yet, but I'm very excited to see season 2, and it's coming out at the end of this calendar year, and I'm very looking forward to it. And yeah, that's all I got, and I can't wait to see for where to go with this, especially adapting Titan's Curse. But that's gonna do it for this video. Just let me know in the comments below, and how excited are you that this series is renewed for a 3rd season, and what do you think of this Percy Jackson and the Disney Plus show going for a multi-season television, and especially with adapting a Titan's Curse as well? Just let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to notifications about future videos. You'll also follow all my social media. It's all linked down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.